I convinced my dad he had turns for 2 weeks to stop him from drinking, and I'd do it again. My father was an alcoholic for 30 years, not the stumbling dramatic kind you see in movies, the functional kind that slowly kills you while everyone pretends it's normal. 4 to 6 beers every night, never missing work, never causing scenes, just slowly poisoning himself while maintaining the perfect facade of normalcy. His doctor warned him for years about his liver, but he'd always say, "I'll cut back next month," with that smile that meant he had no intention of changing. After my mom died, it got worse. I'd call and he'd sound fine, but I'd hear the slight slurring the way he'd repeat the same story he told me 2 days ago. He's Christmas, he fell in the bathroom. Nothing broken, just bruises. When I flew home to check on him, I found empty bottles hidden everywhere behind books, under the sink, in the garage, inside old paint cans. Aclopec alcoholic hiding spots. I confronted him. He laughed it off. I am 72, it'd mean I've still beaten the odds. That's when I noticed something about my father. When his brother started showing early signs of dementia, Dad stopped visiting. The idea came during dinner. He asked me where I worked, information he'd known for 8 years, a normal memory slip for a man his age, but I saw my opportunity. I looked concerned. "Dad, I told you yesterday I am still at Peterson Financial." "Of course," he said quickly. "Just testing you," but I could see the worry flash across his face. The next morning I moved his car keys from the hook by the door to his sock drawer. When he couldn't find them, I said, "Dad, you put them there last night, don't you remember?" That evening I switched his regular beers with non-alcoholic ones. He didn't notice the difference. When he reached for what he thought was his 5th beer, I said casually, "That's your 7th tonight, Dad." He looked genuinely confused. "No, I just started." "You've been drinking since dinner," I insisted gently. "That's why you couldn't remember where you put the remote earlier." Over the next few days I orchestrated a series of small incidents. I'd move things and insist he had moved them. I'd reference conversations we never had. I'd remind him of appointments that didn't exist, then act concerned when he couldn't recall them. Each time I would say softly, "Dad, this is what happens when you drink. Your memory goes first." On day 5, he poured his first beer down the sink. By day 7, he called his doctor to schedule a memory test. I watched his hands shake from withdrawal, but he was too frightened of losing his mind to reach for a drink. On day 12, he sat across from me at breakfast, his face pale but clear-eyed for the first time in years. "I think I need help with the drinking." That's when I told him the truth. I expected rage. Instead, he was quiet for a long time. He looked at his hands steadier now than they'd been in years. "Your mother tried everything, begging, threatening to leave, hiding the bottles. Nothing worked, I know. So you found the one thing I feared more than quitting." I nodded, tears streaming down my face. "I am not sorry. That was 11 months ago." Dad joined AFDA the next day. He's been sober since. The memory test came back normal, of course. His liver enzymes are improving. His doctor says he's added years to his life. Sometimes he looks at me with a mixture of gratitude and wariness, like he's not quite sure whether to thank me or fear me. Maybe both are appropriate. Last week he celebrated 10 months sober. After the meeting, he handed me his sobriety chip. "This belongs to you too," he said. "Your methods were questionable, but your motives weren't." People ask if I feel guilty for making my father believe he was developing humans. The honest answer is no. I'd do it again tomorrow if it meant saving his life. Sometimes love looks like deception. Sometimes healing starts with fear, and sometimes the ends justify even the most manipulative means.